Welcome back to Section 4 Fans. Today, we're looking back at our NBA and Stanley Cup Round 1 predictions, where we got it right, where we completely missed, and what surprised us the most out of those matchups. Before we shift ahead to Round 2, I know a couple matchups have already started, but we're going to break down some of the matchups and our predictions in both Round 2 of the NBA and NHL playoffs, and we'll wrap it all up with an always unpredictable Immaculate Grid. So let's get into it. Carter, just before we dive in, initial thoughts off the top of your head. How do you think your predictions did?
Sorry, I'm just looking at this lineup for Tottenham today, and it looks horrible. Um, I think I got 80%. I think I know for sure I got the Oilers game wrong.
Okay, here
Are we are we talking games or are we talking
no,
like
just like without actually like looking into it, just a quick thought. How do you think you did?
I think I did pretty well, but
Okay,
it is the first round of the playoffs, so you can kind of predict pretty
yeah,
easy.
there was some stuff we were able to get right, and definitely some misses are on our end as well. But we could dive here in with the first round of the NBA and our predictions. Obviously, we both predicted the Thunder, and the Thunder went through. So that was a pretty easy series there for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Then our next predictions were we had Lakers, Rockets. You rolled with the Lakers, or
I
with the
did?
Rockets. You rolled with
I
the
was about to
Rockets.
say.
My bad. I rolled with the Lakers, and I even called it in 6 games. So that is another, like, it could be a little pat on the back right there for getting that right. Next round was the Nuggets and the Timberwolves, and you went with the Nuggets there.
Reverse psychology though.
And hey,
I faded.
you faded for the state of Minnesota,
I
so
faded.
it
I took
worked.
one.
It worked for all the Wolves fans, and I went with the Wolves, and they got it done. They got it done without 3 double-digit scores, so that's pretty impressive there. Hopefully they can at least give the Spurs a little run for their money in this next round. The next matchup in round 1 was the Spurs Trailblazers. We both called the Spurs, and I called the Spurs in 5 games, even doubled down on that even harder.
What
So
did I say? Spurs and
yeah,
what?
you didn't say. You just said Spurs overall.
Mm.
Um, so a pretty good first round out of the West in terms of our picks there. Then we flip over to the East, and this is where I think you cooked a bit. I gotta give you
Oh,
your props here. We both rolled with the Pistons. Obviously, we have that Game 7 today as of
mhm.
recording, so we'll hopefully see what happens in that matchup between the Pistons and the Magic. And then the next round, we had Cleveland going through. Another Game 7 today as well between the Raptors and Cleveland. I had Cleveland going through in 6. That is now out the window, but you could still get some bonus pats on the back there. You had Cleveland in 7. So you're looking pretty good so far. You also called the Knicks over the Hawks. We both did, but you called it in 6 games. So another one for you out in the East.
oh, I'm
And
cooking.
and this one I gotta hand it to you. You did pretty well on this. You said 76ers over the Celtics. I had the Celtics. You went with the Sixers in 7. So not only was that a good call, but you also called, if people go back 2 episodes, you also called that Maxey and VJ Edgecombe would be a problem for
Yeah, they would.
Boston, and they definitely were. So I think looking at our first round NBA predictions here, I think I was more dialed into the West, and I think you did a little bit of homework in the East because you kind of cooked on that side of the bracket there.
I want to
Um,
give flowers to Embiid though.
yeah, I
Coming
mean
back
I don't.
from the appendix
Yeah,
rupture, right? And coming back, I mean, everyone talks all this about all his injuries and how he's just never healthy and he's weak-minded. I mean, he sacrificed everything for Philly
yeah. I
that
think
that
I think
this
it helped he was
series.
playing Boston too. He just hates the Celtics, and I was watching the game last night, and him and Jaylen Brown were going at it. So that was pretty exciting to see there. But yeah, I mean, it was a hell of a matchup. I don't think people were giving the 76ers a lot of credit, and they obviously stepped up and delivered. No Tatum in game seven. Who
Yeah.
knows if that would have made a difference? But the 76ers did move on there. So we can kind of kick it into the Western Eastern Conference semifinals here for the NBA. We got round two. Um, And obviously, there's one part of the bracket not set up in the East, but we'll start in the West.
Yeah,
We got the
Thunder,
Thunder
Lakers.
and Lakers. That's a 1-4 matchup there. Who do you think is going to win games? How many games?
I think they LeBron did the Lakers make the playoffs last year?
Yes, they met the Wolves in the first round.
That's what I thought.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think that Thunder take care of business. I think it will be in 5 games, though. I think the Lakers snatch one in in LA. Oklahoma City's 15.5 point favorites on Tuesday. That is crazy.
Yeah, gosh, it's so hard. Obviously, I rolled with the Lakers last round, and that paid off pretty well. The vintage LeBron was putting the team on his back, but definitely some other key players stepped up, like Luke Kennard for a couple games, and Marcus Smart as well. Austin Reeves is back, so that's going to help, but kind of up in the air on Luka. I think if they get Luka, that will obviously help them against the Thunder's team like this. But yeah, I'm gonna roll with you here. Thunder in five. I think that's what it's looking like. I think they can get one, but I think the Thunder are just too deep and too good.
I wonder who's going to get the better whistle this series,
Thunder.
LeBron or the Thunder. You got to remember it's LeBron.
Yeah, but yeah, it's gonna be Thunder, man. Yeah, the amount of calls they get is crazy, and the amount of calls that they don't get called on is even crazier, especially on defense. But the more exciting, well, this, despite some injuries, the more exciting Western Conference semifinal in my mind is six-seeded Timberwolves over the two-seeded Spurs. This one's a tough one. Dante tore his Achilles. Io is hopefully back. I know he had some calf problems, so he wasn't playing the last game. And then Ant is kind of up in the air. If he does come back in this series, I don't expect it to be until at least game four in my eyes. I really don't see that as a possibility. Um, as much as I want to go with the Timberwolves here, I think this is the time I got to go with the Spurs. But um, Spurs in six.
I'm going to fade the Wolves again. Spurs in 4.
Okay, you're going with the
Uh,
sweep there.
yeah, I think that a short bench for the Wolves and just inexperience uh with the younger guys playing, I think that's going to catch up to them pretty quickly and in this series. San Antonio, tough place to play, obviously. The crowd looks insane, especially with that colorway with that
The Fiesta
the
colors.
yeah, that was awesome to see.
Yeah, great
Um
atmosphere there.
yeah, I'm going Spurs in 4. Unfortunately, I just think the injuries are too much for the Wolves to handle.
Yeah,
I don't think it's anything
I think the
that
injuries and Victor Wembanyama is going to be the problems right there. Definitely Wemby's much quicker, much more very different in terms of play style to Jokic. So I think it's going to be trouble for Gobert to defend that kind of
I think
determined young star right there.
I think if the Wolves had everyone healthy, it would be an evenly matched series that would go 7 games.
Definitely, definitely. We could kick it over to the East here. Obviously, we got two game sevens tonight, so that's going to be the one Eastern Conference semifinal matchup. But with the two game sevens between the Pistons, Magic, and the Cavs and the Raptors, who do you think makes it out of those, and who would that be for that matchup moving on, and how many games?
I think the Pistons, with the momentum winning the past 2 games, I think they'll close it out tonight back in Detroit. Home court advantage, uh, game 7 home playoff crowd. I think Cunningham just takes over and will just take care of business tonight. I think we both had Cleveland.
Yeah, we both had Cleveland. You
So
had them in 7.
I have to stick with Cleveland. I'm not gonna go against it. I do think that was it last game RJ Barrett hit that shot.
Huge, huge bounce off the
Unreal.
back.
That was a awesome shot to see live. Do I think Toronto has a chance? What is it tonight?
Yeah, they're both tonight,
Uh,
3:30 and 7:30 tip Easterns.
uh, I think Cleveland actually takes care of business handily and wins by 10 plus points. Although in the next round, I think that series also goes to 7 as well, just based off these two, the first round going
Yeah.
on right now. I'm going Pistons in 7.
Okay. Yeah. I think the Pistons are going to close it out here against the Magic. I think the Cavs are going to do the same. In that round of the Eastern Conference semifinals, I got the Cavs moving on. I think as long as Harden and Mitchell can stay healthy, I think that's just an incredible backcourt to have for Cleveland. And I think if those guys can show up and do what they've kind of been doing all series, I think that's going to be a bit more of a problem for the Pistons um, than what they can manage. So I got the Cavs. I got the Cavs going in Cavs in 6.
That's a solid pick, I think.
Yeah.
Still, I think that's
It's
just
it's
it's a
going to be a good
toss-up
series.
series.
Yeah, it's going to be
Toss-up series.
flip of a coin. It's going to be a good series, a very good series. Both incredible fan bases here in this other matchup. 3-seeded Knicks on against the 7-seeded 76ers. How do we think this one's going to go? Obviously, both had crazy ways to end their previous round matchup. The Knicks blew the doors off of the Hawks and sent them packing to Magic City, and the 76ers took it to the Celtics in the Garden. So, who do you think is going to win this matchup here? How many games?
76ers, 6 games. I'm riding with them. I had my faith in them last episode before the playoffs, and I gotta continue it just for the ride. I think Philadelphia has a really solid lineup. The only thing that's gonna kill them is that bench help. If you look at game 7, they had a total of 10 minutes off the bench, I think. It was like 3 guys came off the bench. One guy had 8 minutes, two others had 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So you're relying on your starters to stay healthy the rest of the series. One of those guys goes down, I Knicks will take care of business. But if they stay healthy, I'm taking 76ers in 6 games.
Yeah, it's going to be a good series. I think VJ and Maxey can perform as well as they did against the Celtics. I think they could have an edge over the Knicks, but I think the Knicks are going to get it done here. I think this is another Game 7, though. Game 7, but I think the Knicks get it done. I think as long as Brunson isn't putting up bricks, and as long as they could keep those two bigs out of foul trouble, I think it's going to be a hard day for the 76ers in the paint, especially if Embiid goes down or out for a game or two in that series. I think it's going to give the Knicks an edge there.
Hmm.
All right, we can sling it across to the ice and check on our first round NHL predictions there. We had the Avs. Both of us did over the Kings. I had the Avs in 4. So
I think
pretty
I had
good.
them
Pretty
in
good.
5.
Yeah, I mean, we knew they were going to take
Yeah.
the belt out on the Kings. So not too different there. Next round, we both went with the Wild, and that was a great series to watch.
That Central Division is just a dogfight.
Yeah, I mean, and now they play the Avs, so that's going to be another fantastic matchup there in the playoffs.
Erickson Ek might be out. I might be out tonight is the thing I saw.
Well, you just got to hope Hughes can see some ghosts and get it done. Next predictions we had the Golden Knights over the Utah Mammoth, and we both went with the Golden Knights there. Not too surprised. I do got to give it to Utah, though. They did put in a little bit of a battle against the Golden Knights, and that was pretty exciting to see that playoff atmosphere there in that arena for the first time. So hopefully they can make it back in the next couple years as well. Then the matchup that was exciting for me as much as the Wild series was exciting for you. We had the Ducks Oilers. Here you went with the Oilers, which I think a lot of people would have done,
Yeah,
but
I mean,
the Ducks took it to them. They took it to them in 6 games, and that was what I called Ducks in 6. So that was huge. So we could get a couple quacks out for the Ducks, man.
all right,
That
don't we're
was
getting a little weird here.
no, the Ducks. Yeah, it's going to be a good, fun series here in the next round. We'll see what happens, but good round from the Ducks. Liked what I saw. Then we could swing it over to the East here. We both rolled with the Sabres, so not too shocked how that matchup went. I just want to see Sabres. Yeah, no, we didn't call it. You had it in 5, but it went to 6, so
Yeah, I'm
almost had
surprised
it.
Boston took 2 games.
Yeah, that was quite surprising. They took one in Buffalo when Josh Allen hit the drum, so maybe he just needs to stay away. It's the Buffalo curse. But we got a great game here still in the East, a Game 7 between the Lightning and the Canadiens that is happening tonight. And I had the Lightning winning this one. You have the Canadiens winning this one. So it's all going to come down to
We got to
puck
stick to
drop.
it.
And
Stick to it.
yeah, we'll stick to it on our predictions here. But hopefully the Lightning can get it done back in Tampa. It didn't look too good in Game 5. So hopefully Game 7 looks a lot better. Then kind of the domination we all thought was the Hurricanes. You gave the Senators a little benefit of the doubt, but I flat out called it. And Hurricanes in 4, that's what happened. Really don't think anyone in the NHL is surprised by that. The Hurricanes are
No.
a very good squad. So next round is going to be quite interesting for them. They've already started their next round matchup as well. So we'll just do our predictions for that, but we'll try and keep that first game out of the blue. And next matchup was the Battle of Pennsylvania. We had the
Ted, who started their
Pittsburgh
next round?
Hurricanes Flyers played
I didn't even know that.
round 1 yesterday. Yep. But so that leads us to the last round or
I
the
don't think
last
it
matchup,
changes
round
our
1.
predictions.
And I had the Penguins winning. You had the Flyers, and the Flyers took care of business. So hopefully we'll see what happens in this next series here, as they got a very tall task. But we can get over to the round 2 of the Western Conference NHL playoffs here. Avs, Wild. What do you
Game
think is
one.
happening? Game 1 tonight. How do you think this series is going to go?
I think Avs win tonight for sure. With Eriksson Ek out is a huge blow, especially to the power play. You saw how the power play was without Zuccarello. And without Eriksson Ek, it's just going to even be more of a hit to it. I got to stick with the Wild. I'm going Wild in 7.
I like that.
I think series goes 7 games either way. I think it's just going to be just blow for blow. End up being 7 games.
Yeah, it's going to be a very good series. This is tough, man.
It's a coin flip.
Yeah, it's a coin flip. I'll go Avs. I'll go Avs in 7. I really like the 7-game prediction here. I think both teams are probably going to go 1-1 for their first 2 games at their home place, and then it'll just bounce around to 7 games. But yeah, I think the Avs could get it done. Obviously, I think they're the best team in the NHL for a reason. So hopefully they could keep it rolling. Next matchup, this is the one I am excited for. We got the Golden Knights taking on the Anaheim Ducks here. Predictions, what do you think is going to go on in this series?
Ducks are exciting, but I think Golden Knights with the playoff experience will take care of business. I got Golden Knights in 5.
Yeah, I mean, the
I think
Ducks
the
are
Magic Ducks are out of Magic.
yeah, I mean that was a huge upset win over the Oilers, who were just at back-to-back Stanley Cup Finals, and now they got a first-round exit. The Ducks are a great young squad with some kind of guys later in their career sprinkled in that lineup as well. I think they got some magic left in them. I can't go against the Ducks, so we're going to go with Ducks, and I'm calling it in 6 again. I think it's going to be quite a battle against the Golden Knights, but hopefully I'll be able to catch some games. Then we got the Eastern Conference second round here. There's obviously with the Lightning Canadiens game, winner will face the one seeded Sabres. How do we think that potential matchup's going to go?
Uh, I think Sabres take care of business. I think they are just riding this wave of excitement, momentum, uh, in because they haven't been in the playoffs since there was longest active streak in NHL history, uh, of playoff drought. And I don't know if you've seen the videos of the fan base of the Blade Gang or whatever.
It's just
It's
like the Buffalo
hilarious.
Bills. It's just like
It's
Bills Mafia.
hilarious. And I think everyone's buying in. And that's what is going to get you to the Stanley Cup Finals is everyone buying in and sacrificing everything and leaving it all out on the ice. And I think Buffalo is the team that will do that this series. They're the upcoming series.
Yeah, they definitely have some killers on their lineup
Buffalo in
too.
6.
Buffalo in 6. Yeah, I called Buffalo making it to this round, and then I had them getting out. But I just have not liked how the Lightning or the Canadians have looked in their own series. I know the Sabres slipped up a little bit against the Bruins, but I think the Sabres could get it done. I think the Sabres will get it done in 5. Then we can get over to that last matchup there in the East. We got the Carolina Hurricanes and the Philadelphia Flyers. That series has started as of yesterday. So obviously we know who's up in that series, but I don't think that would have changed my prediction per se. Obviously Carolina's up 1-0 at this point over the Philadelphia Flyers, but I think I was going to call Carolina regardless. But I'm going to say Carolina in 6. I think the Flyers have looked good at some moments, and I think they'll be able to maybe get a win at home. I think if they could get one at home, I think that leaves the second one up in the air to grab.
I think, yeah, I'm gonna agree with you here. Uh, Hurricanes are just too good of a team. Uh, they're about due for a Stanley Cup final appearance. With the amount of time the team that they've put together year in year out. They have a great head coach as well. Uh, I think Carolina can sweep them.
Yeah, it's going to be a good series. I think it's going to be very like fast, uh,
Physical.
high paced, physical series. So I'm looking forward to that. I didn't get to see much of the game yesterday, so hopefully
I
I'll
didn't
be
even
able
know
to.
they played yesterday.
Yeah, they kind of.
I
I
was
think that was
focused
kind
on
of.
the Derby.
Yeah, I think that was hidden between the Kentucky Derby and the Game
NBA.
7 of the Celtics too. I think that
Yeah.
kind of took the limelight there. But yeah, we had a hell of a first round in both sports in terms of our predictions. I think we went pretty good. Um, I think a little bit better than I initially expected, especially with some of our series length call outs. I think we were right on the money on a lot of these, so that's pretty exciting for us to see that as well. That we're kind of been able to follow these and kind of get these right, or even if they're wrong, we're still having a good time with it. So I don't really give a shit. But we can kind of get into. We started this last week, and I kind of like the concept of it. We could do another immaculate grid here
Should we
uh,
do
to close it out.
NBA?
Yeah, we could try that one again.
I'm looking at NBA right now. It's 1014 Kings, Grizzlies. I like Zach Randolph here.
Okay.
Zach Randolph.
Yep. Um,
And then Spurs, Grizzlies, Rudy Gay. I'm trying to think of their
we
NBA run championship team.
76ers Warriors Kelly Oubre.
Kelly Oubre. That's a good one. 4%.
Um,
Uh, Kings, 76ers. Sabonis is what played for just pretty much the Kings.
well, he's been on a couple
All right.
others, but he hasn't been on the
Ish
Sixers.
Ish Smith, where's he gonna fit?
He was on the Magic, right? At one point.
And what, Kings, Warriors, or Spurs?
That is a good question. I think I don't know. Homeboy was on every team, bro. I think he I think he works for the Magic Warriors. I think that's probably a good one to take. I can't think. The only other name that kind of crosses my mind for this would be like Zaza Pachulia, but I'm not sure if he was on the Magic or not.
Ish
Um,
Smith works for
for that one,
Magic Warriors, Warriors, Grizzlies. We could have used Ish Smith as well. He played for the Grizzlies.
yeah, I don't
What
know
other
who else.
journeymen are there in the NBA?
Dennis Schroeder,
He played for the Warriors.
yeah, but he didn't play for the
Yeah.
Grizzlies.
Oladipo didn't play for the Spurs or Kings.
Yeah.
Um, think of like big men. Um,
Oh, oh God, please work.
Mo Bamba.
Yes, Boban Marjanovic, 76ers, Spurs, bottom right. Oh, four more. Four more.
Warriors, Grizzlies.
Um, Grizzlies, Warriors, Matt Barnes. Matt Barnes. There we go. That is a huge one.
That's a good one.
Oh God.
We got the Magic players now, right?
Yeah, we need some Magic players here. Vince Carter for Kings and Magic, and
Mm,
then I don't know why I didn't think of this. Tracy McGrady, Magic, Spurs.
there we go, Danny. There we go. Good way to finish it off. Great way. Buzzer.
And we got to get one more here in the buzzer. We need a 76ers.
What? We need one more?
Yes, 76ers, Kings.
No, I said Seth Curry.
That worked for that one?
Yeah.
Let me punch it in. Come
Bang.
on. Bang. There we go. A nice little 187 for us. A great Immaculate Grid. We'll show them up on the screen. That was episode 33, Section for Fans. See you next time.